Welcome back to the USA Dog Behavior Podcast. I'm Scott Schaefer, a certified dog behaviorist specializing in all types of canine behavior issues. In today's episode, Zoomies, why every dog gets them. You know the scene. It's a quiet evening at your home. Your dog is napping peacefully at your feet. In this spot, we have dogs, of course. You get up to get a glass of water or your favorite adult beverage, and something switches quite suddenly in your dog. I'm laughing because anyone who has a dog knows exactly what I'm talking about. A wild look flashes in your dog's eyes, and suddenly, there they go, tearing laps around the couch, skidding across the kitchen floor, a whirlwind of paws, joy, fur, and everything else. And it's called the Zoomies. And one of the most interesting things that I've observed after watching countless numbers of these Zoomie episodes in my personal dogs and in my clients' dogs is that when they do it, they never run into anything. Have you noticed that? They never knock anything down. They carefully jump over the furniture. They skip all the china. It's amazing, and it's normal. And it's not just young dogs, by the way, that do this. Older dogs do it too, although the frequency does tend to subside with age as the dog gets older. If you've ever laughed and wondered, what in the world is going on in that little furry friend of mine? What's going on in their head? It's kind of amusing, but it's kind of weird. If you thought that, you're not alone. Today, we're unleashing the complete truth about your dog's Zoomies in this episode. We'll cover what causes them when they're totally normal, and they almost always are, but not always, when you might want to pay closer attention to what's going on, and exactly what you should do when your dog does turn into a blur during one of these Zoomie sessions. First things first, let's give this silly behavior its official scientific name. Are you ready for this? It's called a FRAP. I know. The marketing department for dog behavior could have done a better job on that one, I think. And it stands for Frenetic Random Activity Period. I love that. It perfectly describes those frantic random bursts of energy, however. It does describe what's going on, a frenetic random activity period. So now you can casually say to your friend, oh, don't mind Buster, he's just having a FRAP. You mean a nap? No, a FRAP. Yeah, you're welcome. So why do they do it? It's easy to write it off as just random craziness, but most of the time there actually is a trigger. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people just think their dog just, for whatever reason, does it. But that's not really true. There's almost always a trigger. And I'm going to break it down into the 5 main reasons that these behaviors start, the Zoomies. Reason 1, and this is a big one, pent-up energy release. This is the most common reason we think for this kind of behavior. Think about a dog who's been crated all day or just had a bath where they had to stand still or a long car ride. All that stored up energy has to go somewhere, and it often comes out in one big, glorious, explosive burst, a Zoomie. So when you think about dogs' behavior, one of the things that is kind of a little shortcut is to think of little children. Think of a 4 or 5-year-old little boy. Think about the bath scenario we just talked about. If they have to stand there and take a bath or a shower, a little boy like this, man, when they get out, they want to go nuts. They don't want to take a nap. They don't want to go to bed. They want to run around because they've had to have been calm during the cleaning process, their bath or their shower, and they have to let it all out. That's what dogs are doing sometimes. Reason number 2, sheer unfiltered happiness. I love this one. This is the Zoomies we see many times. You've just come home from work. Your dog is so excited to see you and can't stand all that pent-up energy and excitement. Or you pick up the leash for a walk. You're holding their favorite toy. It's a pure celebration, a physical manifestation of joy. They're jumping for joy, almost literally. So that's number 2. Both 1 and 2 are very, very common. Number 3, however, reason number 3 might surprise you. Stress relief. Yep, Zoomies can be a coping mechanism after a stressful event like a trip to the vet or a tense encounter with another dog. The Zoomies can be a way for your dog to shake off that nervous energy and reset their system. It's like a hard reboot for their brain, if you will. All right, reason number 4 of 5. Reason 4 is one you'll see a lot with puppies or younger dogs. Bathroom-related relief. It's super common to see a puppy do their business and then immediately tear around the backyard. It's a, phew, what a relief dance taken to the extreme. And reason 5 is the simplest of all, and it kind of encapsulates really the prior 4. It just feels good. Sometimes there's no deep psychological reason for dogs to do this, or we certainly don't understand it. They're just a dog. Running is fun. End of story. And doesn't that kind of encapsulate why we like dogs too, by the way? They're very primal. Running is fun. I'm just going to go run, just like little children do. Now, this is a question I get a lot. Should I ever be worried about the Zoomies? And I get this a lot from first-time dog owners. For the vast, vast majority of dogs, the answer is no. You don't need to worry about anything. It's totally normal. It's normal, healthy dog behavior. But it's helpful to know the difference between normal FRAP, Zoomies, and something that might warrant a closer look. While it's somewhat rare, it does happen, especially if your dog's doing lots and lots of Zoomies. You might want to take a closer look. So let's talk about what normal Zoomies look like first. They're short-lived. These are the attributes. They're short-lived. We're talking a minute or two. And actually, I think a minute or two, it might even be a little long. I think a minute or a sub-minute, to be honest with you. Your dog is going to still be in control. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, they don't run into things. They jump over the fine china. It's amazing. They don't hit the plants. It's amazing how they don't hit anything. Even if it looks really crazy, chaotic, they're not crashing into anything. This would be an attribute, another attribute of a normal Zoomie. They're fast. They don't crash into things. They might still be able to hear you and respond. In other words, they're not completely checked out. You might be able to influence their behavior a little bit. And I have to be honest with you, don't tell anybody, but when my personal dogs get the Zoomies, a lot of times I'll egg them on and go, go, Luke. Yeah, go, buddy, go. Charlie, go, go, go. And they love it. It's like, Dad's in on the action. And you know what? It doesn't extend the Zooming at all. It's still 30 to 60 seconds typically. It just makes it more fun for everybody. But don't tell anybody I said that. It's probably bad. I don't know. And most importantly, for a normal Zoomie, the last attribute, besides being short and they don't crash into things, is when the burst is over, they plop down, panting and happy, and settle back down as if nothing ever happened at all. It's really funny. It's just fun It's fun behavior to observe. Now, you might want to pay a bit closer attention if the Zoomies are happening multiple times a day, as I mentioned earlier. Every single day, if you're getting tons of these things, that's a little bit of a concern. Or if they seem to be triggered by clear anxiety, not excitement. They're being stressed, and that seems to be the precursor to the Zoomie. Another thing to watch out for on Zoomies, if your dog is hurting themselves, banging into walls, scraping their nails, causing damage to your home. That's a sign the energy is too much, potentially dangerous, and they're not in control. And that really violates the basic tenets of a Zoomie or a FRAP. Is they're really always in control. They stop. In these rarer cases, it could be a sign that your dog needs maybe more daily exercise, maybe more mental stimulation. And those two, as I've talked about in prior episodes, are always linked. Or maybe dealing with some underlying anxiety or neurological issue that's worth discussing with a dog behaviorist or a vet. When your dog is having a Zoomie, however, here's a pro tip from dog behaviorists. Once the initial most intense burst is over, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, around there, you'll see them start to slow down. It's real predictable. That's your moment to maybe redirect. Have a favorite chew toy ready or ask for a simple sit. This helps them get settled and channel that leftover energy into a calmer behavior and helps them transition out of the Zoomie mindset. And some dogs do need a little help with this. They're going nuts for 5 or 10 minutes after this thing is over. They're kind of sketchy acting. They're play bowing like crazy, and you really would like them to kind of calm down. Well, the way to do it is just what I said, is redirect them when you see that it's coming to a close and give them something else to do. It's kind of the shorthand for that. The bottom line for most dogs is the next time your living room transforms into the Indianapolis 500, and that's what it feels like and looks like, take a deep breath and appreciate the moment, because your dog is having a blast in most cases. Your dog isn't being bad or crazy in most cases. They're just expressing themselves in the most genuinely dog way possible. It's a burst of pure, joyful life. And this is why we love dogs so much. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy quick insights into dog behavior, don't forget to subscribe for more bite-sized episodes and leave a review if you find these episodes helpful. You can find us at usadogbehavior.com or follow us on Facebook by searching for USA Dog Behavior. See you next time. Now go love your dog.